Gentleman yields back. I now want to recognize Mr. Murphy for his 5-minute opening remarks.
Chairman Williams, ranking member, and distinguished members of the House Small Business Committee. I'm a former executive at Bison Blockchain. I'm here today as an entrepreneur and small business owner who survived a Chinese takeover that literally wiped out everything we had built. In 2022 and 2023, Bison Blockchain poured sweat and every last dollar into building the largest Bitcoin mine in Wyoming, near Cheyenne, and just 1 mile from the Warren Air Force Base and our nation's Minuteman III missiles. When our domestic capital fell through, we took a last-minute lead investor who claimed to be from Singapore and international businessmen. After breaking ground, it became clear they were from Beijing and Hong Kong, majority Chinese nationals backed by CCP-linked capital who also ran IP transfer companies. Just before Bitcoin mining began, they brought in personnel from China to replace us as operators. We sued for breach of contract and interference, and then they countersued us, a small local business, for $110 million. It was unfair, it was hugely inflated, and it was lawfare. And effectively, they were mocking us and our judicial system. They hired 6 law firms, 2 in New York, 1 in Los Angeles, and 3 locally in Cheyenne. And they exploited relationships between their Wyoming lawyers and Wyoming state legislators. Then came the presidential CFIUS divestment order, but they saw it coming, and they sold the site to CleanSpark, a large U.S. public company with hundreds of millions of dollars in contracts with Bitmain, one of the Chinese defendants. Bitmain is now under investigation in Operation Red Sunset by the Department of Homeland Security. This wasn't competition. This was the Chinese mocking us and working with CleanSpark to try to wipe out the small guys, the local guys, the Main Street guys. Their plan would have succeeded, but for the extraordinary work of my father, Patrick Murphy, Bison's attorney, my brother, Michael, Bison's co-founders, and 2 men who are here today, Andrew Estuno, our CFIUS expert, and Cyrus Murietka, a national security consultant who helped us. I'd also like to acknowledge Beth Clay, who's not here, but all of these individuals really helped me in this process with the Chinese. They were going to run off with the money, everyone, the sales money. That was their plan, but we were able to secure landmark writs of prejudgment attachment and garnishment where the Wyoming Federal District Court took control of the sales money. And once they took control of the sales money, we were then able to negotiate a settlement. So effectively, we got money out and beat the Chinese. Who am I in all of this? I am a palliative father. My son battles a terminal illness, and I fight for his life every day. For 16 years, I've been a VA hospice volunteer, sitting at the bedside of dying warriors who've served this country, honoring the promise that no veteran dies alone. My advocacy for my son and veterans centers on palliative care and access to cannabinoids, rescheduling marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 to unlock research and healing, especially for rare diseases. I'm also an advocate against child trafficking, and I implore you to stand against it at home and abroad. These realities made me something the Chinese did not anticipate in the lawfare, a father who had faced bigger, scarier dragons than them and their 16 lawyers. Being with my son and veterans, I realized we are not chemical beings to be pumped full of pharmaceuticals. We are electrical beings that need to be filled with light. Our bodies run on bioelectric fields, energy pathways, and natural frequencies. This is biology, that every cell has an electrical charge, every muscle movement, every heartbeat is the result of an electrical charge or discharge. The EKG and EEG medical tests are measuring electrical impulses in the heart and brain. As a palliative father, I tried everything else to help my son. Only energetic medicine, including sound and light therapies, brought him relief when nothing else did. And this is the next wave of healthcare, and the intellectual property behind it is pure gold. As a hospice volunteer, I've seen how rampant fraud and abuse in healthcare devastate patients and small businesses, from massive durable medical equipment overbilling in Florida to ghost hospice facilities in California, siphoning hundreds of millions, literally, from Medicare and Medicaid. These scams inflate taxes for every family, erode trust in legitimate services, and risk bankrupting these programs. and our adversaries, like the CCP, can and do exploit to weaken us economically from within. Lawfare and IP theft are a direct threat to Main Street, and we cannot allow any foreign country, especially the CCP, to do these things against American entrepreneurs, parents, and veterans. I've included 4 recommendations in my written testimony, and I urge your good consideration and action. Thank you for this opportunity to testify and tell my story.
Gentleman yields back. I now recognize Mr. Lyons for his 5-minute opening remarks.
Chairman Williams, Ranking Member Velasquez, members of the committee, thank